main difference between conservative and liberal falls along one line. Conservatives want control. We don't want the government to have more control than it's actually allowed by the Constitution. Liberals want control top down. One system works how God intended it. The other system works how Satan intended it. So hey guys, my name is Sam. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I know how it looks when liberals pop onto conservative channels and they hear us say things like that. They're like, oh my God, these people are insane. We feel the same way when we pop on a liberals channel and we hear them saying stuff like raise minimum wage for people who work at McDonald's. Like, what is the point of that? A McDonald's job flipping burgers was never intended to pay your bills. It was intended to teach you how to work. When we hear liberals say things like the federal government should regulate abortion, we go, no, that should be state rights so that the people in that state get to vote how they want abortion done in their territory, right? Completely different way of facing the biggest issues. The liberals know it too. The liberals know it too, because I found this article that this gentleman wrote where he was saying, hey, stop trying to run up to the conservatives and be like, science is on my side, we have proof, because it sounds shrill and it sounds bullying and it just doesn't work. And he's right. He's right, because see folks, most conservatives don't trust science anymore. Let me tell you why. Science has been bought by big pharma, big tech, and the same companies that the liberals rail against. You know, oh, capitalism's destroying the world. Well, we can agree on that, friend. It is. It most definitely is. But liberals can't seem to understand that science has been bought. When you have young adults saying that you don't need a man in the process of making a baby at all, we have problems. There's actually young people walking around that believe that 2 eggs can create a baby. Yeah, Google it, folks. They really believe it. They really believe it. That's what modern science teaches. It's not science at all. It's actually political opinions with a little bit of evidence, and most of the science is done incorrectly. In other words, if you had somebody else repeat the test that they did, they would get a different outcome because it's skewed. I say that a lot because I was trained when I was getting my master's on how to properly and appropriately walk out a scientific investigation. Regardless of what you were trying to figure out or prove, there are proper ways to do it. And in today's world, those are not being followed. Simply not being followed. Let's start with the most obvious. We use microwaves in our house, right, to heat our food. We know that when microwaves hit moisture, water, it's going to increase the heat by vibrating the water particles, right? And increasing the heat in that object. Yet, when NASA tells us that they are shooting microwaves across the world, from every country is doing it, they're shooting microwaves at the ocean, they're shooting microwaves at the land. They then want to tell us that we are the crazy ones, that one is ionizing and the other is non-ionizing, and we shouldn't get them mixed up because guess what? We aren't the scientist, and that we are incorrect. That we are incorrect. HARP is not heating the earth. 5G is not heating the earth. That's what they tell us. Now, I'm not going to argue that cell phones, 5G networks, those are non-ionizing. And chances are those aren't really affecting us with the heating. They are affecting us through the frequencies, without a doubt. But as for heating the planet, they want us to believe that oil and gas and cows are causing this. This that we're living in right now, where you literally feel like you're being cooked from the inside out. It's not oil, it's not gas, it's not cows. It's the microwave frequencies being pulsed across our world that they readily admit that they do. Now there's where people get mixed up, because they want to start talking about the 5Gs and all the different frequencies in the same conversation, and you don't know enough about the different ones to have a coherent conversation. So you lose the people that you're speaking to, friends. You lose them. Stick with the one fact that NASA has already admitted: microwaves, the exact same frequency used in your microwave oven, are being pulsed across the country, in the atmosphere to the earth, and from the earth into the atmosphere, and it is creating this heat. It's heating up the waters. Why? Because when microwaves go across water, they cause them to move, and as they move, they create heat. It does not take a rocket scientist to understand that. It does not. You've got people who would vote for Biden for the dumbest things, for women's rights. Okay, you want me to agree. It is your right to kill your children. It's fine. But I believe that is a state rights issue and not the federal government. So if that is the only reason you're voting for Biden, I can't get behind that. If the only reason you're voting for Biden is because of green energy, then you seriously need to sit down and look at both sides of what green energy does. Look at the Idaho farmers and the cobalt mine. Really dig into it. If you're going to call yourself educated, then sit down and dig into it, because telling me that a cow belching is making it this hot makes me laugh in your face, folks. It makes me laugh in your face, because that's BS. There have been cows and buffalo and livestock on this earth for 600 years. They are not causing this. This is from microwave frequencies being shot from the earth into the atmosphere, and from the atmosphere into the earth. They are destroying the atmosphere above your head, and then calling it global warming to control you. See, they cause the problem, and then they sell you the solution. And some of you just cannot wrap your mind around that. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't get behind Biden. I definitely can't get behind Kamala Harris, because it goes like this. Here is the problem. And the problem is that there is a problem. Once we acknowledge the problem, then we can label the problem. And together we can face the problem. And that is how we're going to fix the problem. Because a problem there is. Who can get behind that? Who can get behind that? Nobody. Nobody. Our country is divided on deeper levels. It's divided between God's way of doing it and the Antichrist way of doing it, folks. And that's just a simple answer. That is the truth. I've got a few clips here I want you guys to watch. It is flipping hilarious. I'm going to show you people and how they thought, Biden's going to do amazing. And then I'm going to show you how he actually did. Because I found this report that everybody was talking about. This one. You guys know what I'm talking about. And when the FBI began to investigate, they decided, due to the fact that the jury would see Joe Biden as an elderly man with memory issues, that they were not going to pursue charges. So what happens? Okay, so that was in February of 2024. You've got June of 2024 where he tanks the debate. And now the Democrats they're jumping board. New York Times, several other syndicated newspapers, they're jumping. They're jumping off the bandwagon. They're going to let that train derail. But what happens if Joe Biden in his arrogance, in his I'm gonna beat Trump mentality, me, old Joe, Sleepy Joe, Uncle Joe, Sniffy Joe, I'm gonna do it. What if he doesn't willingly step down? You got one or two things that'll happen. If Joe Biden does not willingly step down off the Democrat party line ticket, this is what you're going to see happen. They're going to rule him mentally incompetent. They're going to go after Amendment 25 of the Constitution. They're going to do it before his presidency ends. I'm telling you, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, watch. They're going to go back to this February report. They're going to grab a hold to it. They're going to run him through a doctor's appointment, say that he is mentally incompetent, and they're going to take him out. They're going to say, it's it. It doesn't matter what he wants. We're removing him. He is mentally incompetent, okay? Or he's going to die. He's going to die. Watch. Before his presidency's up, Kamala's going to step up and become president and be the nomination on the ticket. It'll be her name still on the ticket, and they'll move forward. That is what they're going to do. Joe Biden will not be your next president, liberals. He will not. They're going to destroy him to save the Democrat Party. He's a patsy. He is going to be gone. They will find a way. They'll destroy him. They'll either rule him incompetent, remove him and put Kamala in his place as president for the last couple of months, and then she'll run under the ticket name. It's as if he doesn't willingly step down, which I don't see him doing because he's arrogant. Even in 81, the man is just all about himself, okay? Or he'll die, and the same thing will happen. Kamala will step in. Here's my question. How did Joe Biden, being a public servant for 35 years, on salaries ranging from $20,000 to about $140,000 a year, become wealthy enough to be assets in cash of $10 million? How did that happen? 35 years in a public servant role and you're worth $10 million? Joe Biden? That's not his wife. I'm talking about Joe, Uncle Joe. How did he become that wealthy? You guys know how much a president makes in a year, right? If you don't, go look it up. It's a shame if you don't. Google it. Seriously. So that's my thing, folks. These public servants who have been in there all their lives, they've never worked a real job. Joe Biden's never sweated. Joe Biden's never had a manual job. Joe Biden's never worried about if he's got money to pay for his kids' medication. You've always paid for everything for Joe Biden. And now he's going to destroy the Democrat Party because he's not going to willingly step down. And if he does, you can welcome Gavin Newsom, who has stood so gallantly in Biden's corner this entire time. Gavin Newsom will be on that ticket with Kamala Harris. And you want evil? Yeah. Welcome to the new America. Welcome to Germany, folks. Welcome to Hitler. I love you guys. Like the support we do here, I'm going to drop it in the top of comments the different ways you can do that, or even support our mission trip to Maui, sending money for the fire victims. We love you guys. If you're liberal, please listen to me. Conservatives don't have a problem with you. We don't want to control you. We want you to have the same rights that our children have. We want you to have the best life that you can have. But we don't want more government control. We don't want more illegal aliens in our country. It's not safe. We don't want Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare destroyed like the illegal aliens are doing in this current government. So let's come together and let's fix our country. Love you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy this next couple of videos. They're going to make you laugh.
We voted for Biden come November, and we're just waiting for it. I think he's going to talk about the accomplishments he's done. He's going to show strength that he was out here able to get up on the stand and compete with one of the worst liars in America, and he's going to show us why he should be getting another term.
I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers. They'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about.
What do you think America should do with abortions? Should it be should it be something that's issued at the federal level or at the state level?
I think that our candidate is for women's health care, as far protected as we can get it.
Okay, so pro-abortion or like?
I'll leave that to him to say, for sure.
You?
I'm pro-abortion.
Donald Trump. And the universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic.